Welcome back to Benny's Custom Works, proudly supported by Valvoline and Sparesbox. Don't forget Benny 5 on checkout. This week, we are at Queensland Jamboree. It's a 2-day event. We've got the Cresta up here. Maddie's here. Unfortunately, Dad couldn't make it due to prior commitments, but I have actually already run the first day. But you guys are about to see that now, so it should be pretty cool. We're on the GoPro live in the Cresta, but it's not live because it's all pre-recorded. But anyway, whatever. What are you up to, Maddie? Got a bit of laptopping action going?
Yeah, it's live here, right?
Yeah,
this moment.
it's live to us.
Yep.
What's the game plan? It's
well, the
first pass since we've broken the car at the previous Jambo, ironically.
Yep.
New diff in it, new ladder bars. I don't actually know if the car's even going to go straight, so we're just going to kind of suck it and see. We do have 3 qualifying passes today. What's the deal? Is it just best pass is the qualifying pass?
Yeah, best pass qualifying. So usually,
you got 3 shots at it basically. It's not an average or anything.
Nah. So usually you want to play it safe on your first one. You just get qualified, and then you can either turn it up or some people don't even take their 3rd qualifier just because of the heat of the day or whatever.
I did get here late yesterday and watching everyone on the test day. I don't know if the track is not very good or if everyone's just trying to set PBs every single pass, because watching all the radial cars, not one radial car I saw all Arvo got down the track. Plenty of slick cars were making really good times, but radial cars I just didn't really see anything that made me go, oh yeah, cool, we're gonna kind of rip it this weekend. But I'm also making that judgment based on not knowing anything about how they've set their cars up.
Yeah.
So see, you're actually looking after like 5 cars this weekend, so being on the other side of the laptop, what's your read on the track conditions at the moment?
It's definitely favouring the slick cars.
Oh, for sure.
It's not a radial event. Jambo isn't that type of event, and it is a good thing. We've got these big tyre slick cars, and they've got the track perfect for their PBs. It doesn't mean though you can't get down on a radial. We've already seen that in the testing. Some very fast cars on radials, but it's definitely a little bit hit and miss with. Yeah,
cool. And I mean, traditionally, this is one of the cars that will get down the track.
Correct. We have made that change of the bar angle. The turbo's been changed. So there is a few little changes that we're a little bit unsure.
We've broken our golden rule by changing more than one thing.
Yep. If we were going to a radial prepped event, I'd be leaving the exact same tune-up as the last pass that broke the diff.
Yeah, because we know it's going to hook. What are your thoughts? I mean, I know this is very early on, but after the first pass, do we reassess the bar change?
It definitely could get assessed, but I think the tuning ability on the Haltech,
we've got plenty of scope in the tune itself.
Heaps.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I've turned it only the tiniest bit down from when you broke the diff.
So have you taken boost or timing?
I've taken a little bit of boost, 3 degrees of timing, and 200 RPM out of the hit.
Okay, cool.
So we've got off our drag and drive stuff.
We've got a really good safety to get down the track on a track we don't know, because like you say, you're basing that on drag and drive where we don't know those tracks, what they're doing. It's not a Hail Mary pass for our first one. We're gonna basically get a safety in and then try and build off of that. We do also have the potential to run that for the whole pass, that being
Nitrous.
And you've had a bit of success already with Nitrous yesterday and the day before in testing with another Barra powered car.
Yep.
That picked up like 0.2, just chucking some gas in, right?
Correct, the whole run.
Yeah, so currently we don't use gas, and please correct me if I'm wrong, we're using gas on the 2-step and for the first second of the pass, and then after that it's deactivated.
Yeah, it might even be less than a second now.
0.6 or something.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so shout out to our guys at Circle D. Pete basically dialed the converter in so accurately that weather changes how tight the converter is.
Yep.
So
it's tight, but it works.
It works. In the back half, it works so good.
Yep.
I really don't want to change the stator, so we're tuning the converter effectively with some nitrous.
Yep.
It allows us to get it up on boost a lot quicker. We're just experiencing an earthquake. Don't mind that. So yeah, the nitrous is arguably it's probably not the most correct way of doing it, but the problem is the converter is so close to being right. I think if we change stators, we're going to go backwards, not forwards.
The problem is with radial cars, you're trying to do a PB. That's all you want to do is a PB, and we need the track, we need the converter, we need everything to work, and this converter is perfect for a radial prep track.
Yeah, but the second we either change prep
But that's why people do bar changes or ECU. ECU is a lot easier manually. But
Pete did tell me we can tune the converter based on the fluid in the box too. So we could even, admittedly, I don't have any other different fluid here this weekend, but there's potential to actually put a thinner fluid in it.
Correct.
And then that will actually pick up a little bit of stall speed.
Yep. Yeah, most of the time I do it the opposite way with people, because a lot of people have loose converters, and we put compressor oil to get a little bit out of it. It's not magic, but it helps somewhat.
Yeah, so we're actually running an agricultural hydraulic transmission fluid in the box at the moment. But yeah, there's potential we could go to a synthetic ATF or even a traditional Dex 3. The biggest problem with Dex 3 is obviously it's not really designed for motorsport applications, so you do need to change it a lot more regularly. It's very easy to burn or heat affect that oil, whereas the Agri-Trans, that sort of stuff, all compressor oil is designed for like endurance, high heat, high stress applications. So it's a lot more resilient against heat shocks and heat loading and heat cycling. So I think we're definitely in the ballpark at the moment. But yeah, we've got, so over the 2 days of Jambo, we've got six passes total. So we've got 3 qualifying passes, and then we've got 3 rounds effectively tomorrow. We're not really going out there to win anything, but we are in J275, which there's like 6 second cars in that bracket. So we're not exactly going out to win it, because I think we're a pretty big outside chance for that. But just coming out to it, actually just come and be able to run the car again. We haven't run the car since last Jambo, so we've had a pretty bad run of luck in Sydney with the Grudge Kings being postponed due to weather, and then Kenda cancelled the event last minute. There was a bit of a political move, shall we say, between them and the Dragway, where there was a price discrepancy on the track hire, and then that basically blew the event out of the water, which is a bit of a bummer, because the Kenda is probably arguably the best prep in the country.
Correct.
If you're going to run a PB with a radial car, that's the event to run it at. So yeah, having one in your back, on your doorstep is pretty handy, and then now not having that is a bit of a bummer. So
what we've got to do is convince you to come back to Brisbane.
It's such a shit drive. It's such a shit drive, especially when you do it by yourself over one day. It's just 12 hours of highway. I don't know. Maybe is there a Kenda in Victoria?
No, but the Bend.
That's not closer.
I know.
That doesn't help me. Anyway, we've had plenty of chats. That's nearly a solid 8 minutes of me and Maddie talking garbage. But hopefully the chat will lead to at least getting the car down the track. I'm not going to say PB, because I feel like that's not happening on this pass.
The first pass is I want to be in the 1-2s
get a safety
and go down, see where the boost is at with this new turbo, and then we reassess everything.
Yeah, because we've got to really look at also what the rear end's doing, having done a bar change as well, and now having probably not as good a prep as
it's sort of like
we were anticipating. Well, we did the bar change based on
Jambo prep
Grudge King, or also
Grudge Kings,
based on Grudge Kings and Kenda, because they're both radial events. So that's definitely going to change potentially what we end up with. We may go back on the bar, but we also may just do it with tuning, physical ECU tuning rather than chassis tuning.
I'd prefer to do that, because most likely this next time this car goes out, it's going to be that bar back
prep again anyway. So I mean, it's easy enough to change, but and the other thing we do need to be mindful of is the car actually going to go down the track straight? So we may need to add or remove rear steer from one side of the car, because the ladder bars that have gone back into the car are not exactly the same geometry lengthwise as the ones that came out, because they were bent. So I didn't know if I wanted to set it up as per the bent length or as per the straight length, because I don't really know. I went straight length because I don't really know when they bent, but admittedly the car was going straight. So I don't know. We'll see what it does. It does drive straight on the road. Like it drives straight. The steering wheel is straight. So that tells me that the car is square. But the problem is you don't know what it's going to do loaded. It may have rear steer left or right loaded. So the car is naturally going to flex and compress the right hand side of the vehicle, which may make it want to turn right. But if it goes a little bit right, I'm not fazed by it. If it dives at the wall is where we're going to have issues. So That being said, if it does want to start going that way, we'll probably either shorten the left arm or add 2 flats to the right arm. But yeah, we've got plenty of chassis tunability to actually square the car.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we'll figure it out after the first one.
Yeah, exactly. We've got plenty of eyes on the car, and yeah, plenty of cameras. The guys at overtaking lane are going to actually give us some footage for which you guys will no doubt see during the rest of this episode. Woody at Skid Factory is also out here filming, so we may or may not use some of his footage as well. But yeah, shout out to everyone who's put their hand up. Oh, Golby's as well. Those guys are out here filming. So
yep.
Yeah, fortunately we've got plenty of cameras on the track. So shout out to everyone who's offered to help and loan us some footage. But we're now at 10.5 minutes, so I'm going to stop talking because otherwise you guys are probably already left by now. But Skids and Racing incoming. Come back from that last pass, looked at the data. The very end of the track, the EGTs all drop off a touch. So I am going to put some plugs in it, but the other thing we're potentially going to do is move the power supply for the 6 coils from an 8 amp pin to a 20 amp pin on the PD16. That will obviously give us a lot more current or potential current supply to the coils, so that may or may not help with the ignition miss, but yeah, we'll chuck some plugs in it and do that, and hopefully that's the end of the problem for the weekend. So yeah, the old plugs are coming out now. I've already got those out. Got a handful of new plugs. Are going to get those suckers up, and then we're going to be happy days. Let's keep on bashing away. That was a bit of a mixed bag. Unfortunately, last pass spun before the 60 foot, but still managed a 128 60. Then it spun again a few times, and you'll probably tell me in about a minute how many times it spun. Man, we were so close. We were literally within one red light of being spot on. 100 RPM difference between getting down the track and not. Unlucky. Very good guessing. Like, I mean, I know you're not guessing, but you know what I mean. Like,
calculated.
It was a very good calculated guess on where we needed to be, basing on what we'd done previous 2 passes, and the first pass was garbage, really. Like, we didn't really get a whole lot of data off that. So full props to you. Day 1 has run and done, and I don't even know where we qualified, but I mean, everyone who did a pass today qualified basically. So we're in for tomorrow. So we're in the big show, and we get another 3 passes tomorrow. Where's that leave us for tomorrow, Matty? What are you thinking?
Well, I guess this is where it's racing. So yeah, depending on where we qualify and who we're racing and if we're here to race.
Or do we just worry about trying to make the car go fast?
The thing is, the track, it's not a radial track.
I know.
So we're never going to be doing a PB here.
I feel like if we could get an 8.1 with no gas, though, we can put some gas in and maybe try and squeeze a 7.9.
I agree on that.
But we've still got to get that 8.1. I really thought maybe that
I think the first
That one
pass.
was going to be the 8.1 with a bit of cooler air, but the issue we're really going to fight, I think, isn't going to be the air density or the air temp tomorrow. It's going to be the track temp. I think that's going to be what actually kicks us in the arse tomorrow.
We can get some shade, like some cloud cover, because today it's just blue skies.
Yeah, if we get a bit of shade and a bit of cloud cover or overcast, that'll definitely help out. Like if you could pull the track temp down 10 degrees, that's going to help immensely with all the radial cars. Like the guy who was immediately in front of us with the red VL, I do forget his name, I'm sorry about that. He basically spun the tyre off the hit. The car in front of him spun the tyre off the hit, all radial cars. We still managed to bite into the track, and then it kind of rolled out.
It was good. It actually got to 0.5, and it didn't let the tyre go. It started chattering it.
Yeah.
It still had traction.
I felt it and kind of stayed into it.
Yeah.
Was I still flat on that, or did I start to pedal it at that point?
I think you pedalled it at 1.2, but let's just
Yeah, okay. So I was out of it across the 60 foot, or pedaling it across the 60 foot.
Oh yeah, definitely. You pedalled it at 1 second.
Yeah, okay.
And then you pedalled it again at 1.8 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, no, you got back in it at 1.8, then you got out of it at 2,
yeah,
and then back in it at 2.6.
Yeah, and then finished the pass at 8.9, which is still, all things considered, it's not a bad pass.
We can check the plugs now.
Yeah.
A fresh set of plugs, so we'll actually get some data.
Yeah.
We did change an ignition pin.
Yeah, you guys moved the power supply from an 8 amp output on the PD16 to a 20 amp, is that correct?
Yep, and currently...
Are you logging that channel now?
Well, just the EGTs look a lot cleaner.
Yeah, sick.
So that's a positive. Either it was the plugs or that, but...
It could have been either, but either way, like that's, yeah. We've always kind of battled with spark issues with this car, and probably the biggest advance or step forward in one go was going to the IGM 1As away from 35 coils. Just having reliability issues with boots and resistors and all that sort of R35-ness. It just made it a bit hard, but then just going back to maybe keeping it a bit more simple, going plugs and leads. Yep. Or coils and leads, I should say, not plugs and leads.
Just for reference, we're only spraying the nitrous to 0.399 seconds.
Yeah, right. So we're not even spraying it as much as I thought. I thought we were going 0.6. No. Yeah, cool. So we've got like a whole nother 7.5 seconds of gas to use tomorrow.
So we could try and go 100 RPM less, but then just spray it.
The whole way. I like that. I'd rather get it out of the hole and try and make more power on the track.
Yep. Even 100.
I would literally pull 100 out.
It would still be a 1-2 something.
I'd pull 100 out of the hit. Yeah, I'd pull and that was rolling on the tyre.
Correct. It was gone at 0.5.
Yeah. And it was still walking on the tyre, yeah.
But the drive shaft shows you've lost momentum. If we had G meter on a Nexus, you'd actually see that fall off.
Oh, another cool thing we're going to get with a Nexus when I finally run a 7.
Yep.
In like 2037, lol. We're not going to be able to get fuel by the time I run a 7. That's not true.
EV.
We just literally need a radial track and a bit of good luck with the weather. It's definitely responding better now with the G45 1600 on it as opposed to the 1500. It's marginal, but I feel like the mile an hour is definitely a little bit higher. But it's just a waiting game, hey. We've just got to play the game. And we get another 3 passes tomorrow. That's not if we don't get into the finals. If we do get into the finals, obviously, I don't know, was it top 8 bracket or something, and then it's a shootout after that?
I'll have to double check everything.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. We'll just see what the car does and then we'll work it out.
Yep.
Would be cool to see where we qualified though, because if we qualify in the top half of the bracket,
for us,
that means we're racing down, not racing up. So that
and that 8.4 is like that would like
that's not going to be bad.
No, but that will do it all day, every day.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get down with that part all day.
Yeah.
Even the 8.2 pretty much will get down all day.
You know what? If we have to put that tune into race, we can turn that trans brake button or the bump button into a nitrous.
Yeah.
And you can decide if you need it.
I just have to make sure I don't test the auto shifting in the burnout, because that's how I shift.
No. I'll set it on that you can only spray it after 1.5 seconds.
So it'll still auto shift.
Correct.
In the burnout.
Yep. The other thing is
all the wizardry of the Haltech with Matty.
We'll also set up a thing where if he points it, if he even touches that button for 0.001, I'll activate it the whole rest of the pass. He committed. If he touches the button, he's committed.
So I'm telling you, but I'm not in control.
Correct.
So it's a latching button, it's not a momentary button.
That is correct.
Oh lordy.
That's what I'm deciding.
Okay. That'll still be throttle percentage based, right?
can't spray it at 50% throttle.
No. There's no micro switches and carbies here, lads.
Well, do we just
good job today.
And go again tomorrow?
Pull down no other button. Yep.
That one.
Yep. Do you like my buttonage where instead of having arrows, I've literally just put I got 2 sets of stickers and put them upside down?
That's what confused me right then.
I know. Am I the only person who have ever done that?
That I know of.
Yeah, sick. I don't know why they wouldn't, like they've got boost up and down. Come on, hey Richard, can you please make me new stickers that say launch up and down and torque management up and down? That would be great, thanks. Thanks marketing team, love you. Yeah, what are you thinking tomorrow? Literally just 100 down in the launch, so we've already gone 100 down.
Yep.
No. So that's going back to where it was. I'm just demonstrating.
Okay.
So we're 100 down in the launch and we're just going to go out like that for the first pass tomorrow.
The first pass of the day is always going to be the cooler.
Track's going to be coolest.
So that's the time to do it. Of course, if Ben decides that the car next to him, he can really win with an 8.4 all day, every day, we might just go for a win.
Yeah, we've kind of got to be a little bit strategic in that.
Correct.
We actually want to win, but we also got to be mindful of there's no point running 8.6s all day because I can do that in Sydney on a Wednesday night.
Correct.
Didn't drive 11 hours with a car trailer to run 860s. We do need to pull a plug out and just have a look at what it's doing. A few little funky things on one of the plugs that I pulled out, but
now
those plugs have been in that car for a long time. They've done...
You got to remember, we went through this at Rocky Mountain.
Yeah. But the difference is I didn't put petrols on it. It hasn't had,
They're 10s, and even just a little bit of street driving, we need to change the plugs.
Even on E85s?
Correct.
Okay. Annoyingly, the last plugs I have are actually in the engine now because I thought it'd be a great idea to put plugs in Ben's car the other day, which it does need plugs to be fair, but being that I didn't have 3 sets of plugs, I probably should have actually looked a bit...
We're okay for now.
I know, we've got 4 more plugs left. Interesting times ahead, people. All the vlogging, all of the close-ups of my face. What a horrendous shot that is.
This is live, yeah?
Yeah, it's live streamed.
It's live.
Yeah, sick. Massive thank you to you, Maddie, so far. We're still only part way through the episode. Sorry, everyone. I'm assuming Gian's going to cut these hour-long chats down to not be an hour long. He'll probably throw some jump cuts in somewhere, or maybe some cutaways of me spinning the tyre or something else. I'm going to set my swag up again because, side note, swags need poles as it turns out, and my swag does not have poles, so I'm going to tie it to the Cresta and the car trailer and hope people don't take either of those in the middle of the night. Other side note, please put your ramps away in your car trailer if you're going to leave them out all night, because my shin does not like other people's car trailer ramps. Ba-bow. Sneaky drift car, just hiding out here. We're about to run the first pass of the day. We've drawn a BA Falcon. The fella's name's Matt, I believe. The thing looks pretty stout. It's got bead locks on it, so yeah, it should be a pretty good run, fingers crossed. Very happy with that pass. Car went down. I'm gonna say it was probably an 8.2. Thank you. Ooh, 8.21 at 166. So she's got some steam. Definitely working. 126 60 foot. So yeah, we've got a really good pass, a good foundation pass to build on for our next round. So yeah, let's hope that we can build on that and the track gets better, not worse over the day. Because the gamble that we need to, the gamble that we're going to make is if the track's going to get better or worse. So we leave that pass, like that's PB for the weekend, 8.21. Really good 60 for what it was. It was about what we were targeting. So yeah, having dropped that 100 RPM out of the hit, it's yeah, made it go down better and be more reliable. So Matty after this run. Bruh.
How was that, mate?
Good job.
Yeah.
So what did you actually do versus what you told me you were going to do?
No, we did that, but of course in the lanes we turned it down 100.
That was a good call.
What was the 60?
126.
Yep, perfect.
I think the track, thanks bro. So now, do we put 100 back in, or do we try and, like, 166 too? Like, the mile's good.
Yeah, everything's good. Like,
yeah.
We made some changes, it all worked, but we decided right at that start line to just turn it down to go down because we wanted to win.
Got down.
And we did exactly that, and there was a lot of cars in front of us that didn't go down.
Yeah. Yeah, the red VL just spun on the hit.
Yep.
And I think we made the right choice in that, because...
It might have taken the 100, but...
It might have, but we were 100 off last time.
Correct.
And it was a good safety to get one in the bank.
Yep. I did add
saying that, I mean, we still probably would have won even if we spun.
Yep.
But you can't underestimate your competition.
But that's now a tune-up that we can use.
And that's exactly what I said.
And that's a
coming
competitive
up the road,
tune-up.
We've got a really good baseline for the rest of the day.
Yep.
So, go bananas.
Well, we'll see how we get the next round.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at the data. I did actually add a little drive shaft correction if it went too high. So we'll check that.
Good job, bro.
All right, cool.
Thank you. Well, 2 rounds, 2 victories, so it's actually put us in a pretty good standing at the moment. Just had Disco Dean in the little bread van. Unfortunately, I didn't get in car because I forgot to press record. There was a bit of a kerfuffle on the start line where there was like a lot of in and out of the car. There was a car in the wall earlier, so that kind of mucked with our pre-pass rituals. But yeah, sorry about that. Hopefully we got some good externals from other guys, but yeah, if you have let us footage at this point, thank you to everyone who's supported us. Yeah, so 2 rounds, 2 victories, pretty stoked with that. The next round we have pulled a 7-second car, but yeah, I guess we just got to see how it goes. So we'll roll on in and see where we end up. Thank you. 835 at 164. Interestingly, I reckon we might be nearly out of nitrous. So, yeah, I think there's some funkiness going on with the gas because it was a bit lazy to come up. So yeah, we'll have to have a look at that because there should be no reason that we blow through that much gas in a couple of passes. Probably having the bottle on all the time, there's a fair chance that solenoid could have a minor leak, which you're not supposed to leave bottle pressure on the solenoid, I know that, but the problem is the bottle seems to leak more than the solenoid. So yeah, but it was a bit lazy to come up, so yeah, we'll see what happens for the 3rd round, but I reckon we might try and get that bottle filled and try and shore up the 3rd round, because I'd say that the 3rd pass is definitely going to be a bit of scramble button action. So yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out, because yeah, it would be nice to go 3 rounds with 3 wins, and something I've never done before, so go banana.
How'd you go, mate? Good?
I got him by a bit.
Yeah, good work, man.
I think I upset him.
Oh, really?
Oh, no, I upset him. I think he was just, I was in his head.
Yeah. Oh,
I think he lost the race.
No, well, I don't know.
It 60 bad, like 1.7 or something.
I think it actually turned the tyre and grabbed torque management. Everyone turned, he turned the tyres. Everyone turned the tyres. So it's so slippery out there.
Down.
It's greasy. So
yeah, buddy. Good job, bro.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the data. And
60's a bit lazier. But
yeah, well,
I think it just walked on the tyre, but it didn't break it.
I watched the tyre spin, and I reckon it grabbed a bit of traction, like control, and then put it back in.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Good job, Matthew.
What do you reckon? I don't know. Bet on what? Well, we got that one wrong.
We tried.
That's weird.
Just had too much, I guess.
Yeah, just the way it bombed it. Like, it never bombed it out there like that.
It was just weird.
It's just rubber banded.
The track's just hammered.
Oh man, it's bald. It's like.
Oh, there's nothing.
So what does that mean now?
There's nothing. There's nothing.
You sort of can wait and see how it falls.
Has he had a win at all?
I think he's had 2 losses, or maybe a win and a loss. I didn't really keep track of how many wins everyone had.
Yeah, no. But I feel like it's been very two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 2s.
Then it comes down to how they do. Then it's usually on your last pass.
The problem is too, though, bro. Like, we could sit here for another 4 hours before they decide that.
Yeah, correct.
So, what do we do?
Oh, well, let's look at the data and just have an idea.
Well, unfortunately, the last lap, we did get knocked off, and then that just put us out of the final, I think. There was potential if we won that to actually get into the final, so yeah, a bit of a bummer, but pretty cool thing to be able to come out and race Jambo, race 2 rounds and win both the first 2 passes. Then got knocked off with pretty average track conditions, if I'm honest, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not a radial event, so you can't expect radial prep. So it's not a dig at Jambo, it's not a dig at anyone here, it's not a dig at the guys doing the prep. It's not a dig at anyone. It's just the luck of the draw, and the better car on the day one. So shout out to the guys with the red Mustang, and yeah, sick car. Also, massive thank you to Maddie and Dave from Haltech for helping me out. Yeah, it was awesome to be able to get back and knock around with the car again with Maddie. That 7 still remains to be caught, but positively, we do have more mile an hour at our disposal now. So that G45 1600 that we did out at Baxter's MTQ a couple of months ago, that's definitely working better than the 1500 we had. So definitely potential to go faster, and still more Cresta to come before we rip it apart and do Nexus things and all sorts of fun stuff with Dave. That pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Yeah, oh, the camera's still on.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, I forgot to turn the nitrous on. Here's a little Easter egg for Gian if he actually watches 30 minutes of clip.